Okay, everybody, I'll show you what I've been working on today is automating or mechanizing my antenna tuner. If you remember from a previous video here yesterday, I built this L network, matching network, to get my 160 meter inverted L to tune for 80 meters way up there. It works okay, or pretty good actually for 160 meters. It's cut for 160. But I wanted to use it for 80, and it has pretty high impedance. So this worked out really well, this L network. Very little capacitance, and for 80 meters it's right around in here that I need to use this, but it's very narrow bandwidth. So to use on 80 meters, you have to either pick a part of the band to stay on, and that's it, because the SWR goes pretty high pretty quick, and the amplifier doesn't like that. So I've thought of a way to fashion up an automatic remote antenna tuner. I don't have any servo motors or anything like that, so I got to thinking and looking around, and I found this old Makita drill that I had in my toolbox drawer that I've bought 25 years ago. Haven't used it in a long time. The batteries are dead. This was before the removable battery packs. This battery pack, you can see, was kind of corroded and leaking. So I thought, well, there's my motor, if I can come up with a drive mechanism. So what I did is I found a grinding stone I have in the toolbox there, used that as a pulley, and I have some Hoover vacuum cleaner belts for some old vacuum, which I don't even have anymore. That was in the top of the coat closet, so there's my belt. And for the drill, I just gutted it. I took the mechanism out and figured I would just use the motor, and I soldered wires and extended the motor right out here. And it's kind of beveled here, so it doesn't sit real flush. To get that alignment correct was a little tricky, so I had to use door shims. You can see in here I used some door shims in here and drilled a series of holes right through the plastic enclosure. I did something interesting here. It was a little wobbly up front, so I just thought I'd drive a screw through here, not thinking about what this bulbous area here is for. That actually houses a big tooth gear, part of the gear reduction. Well, I took the drill and I got just a little bit through, and I heard I hit some metal, and I took a chunk off of one of the teeth. So the gear, it works, it just makes a lot of noise, so it actually adds character to it. So I built a real basic reversing relay here, pretty simple, an H network, and there's a relay to turn it on and off. And this thing idealistically runs on 4.8 volts, and that seems to be okay. These batteries were dead, and what I originally tried is a 6-volt battery. I have a brand new 6-volt lead acid battery that would have fit in here. I actually bought it to replace the battery in my million candle power light, but it runs too fast. It was too fast, faster than I was comfortable with, especially when it hits the stop. So I found out that I just happen to have 4 of these brand new NiCad batteries on the bench forever, and 2 of which I just charged the other day. So I decided to put those in a holder and see how they would power the motor, and they do really well. They run it a little slower than 4, but it's perfect for this. So you got the reversing network here, the relays. I have a double pole, double throw center off switch, which you need. And I thought I would power everything here, even a 9-volt battery. That's enough to trigger the 12-volt coils for the relays here. So when I go to do this remotely, all I need to run is 3 wires into the shack, and I'll do that with a piece of Cat 5 cable. Hi, Tiki. And so I just run 3 wires into the shack. So let's run this thing. And when Tiki gets out of the way, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah. And so you'll hear the noise of this gear with a tooth, with a chunk out of the tooth. Come on, get out of the way. But how cool is that? Look at that. One direction and come on, get out, get out. That's perfect speed. So most of my work is going to be right around in here. What do you think, Tiki? Don't get your tail caught in there. And even when it hits a stop, this thing draws about 3 amps when it's running normally. And then when it hits a stop, it jumps up to about 6 amps. So I was thinking building some current sensing to determine when it's at the end of its travel. I haven't thought about that. Come on, Teeks, you're just getting a little too friendly here. I'll worry about that later. Maybe I can put a micro switch at the end here or something. or just watch the SWR. The belt in this direction seems to like want to try to come off, but it really doesn't. It just got a little bit over the edge, but whoops, seems to stay on even when I hit full lock. On the other direction, it seems to center it. Listen to that thing, that's cool. So most of my increments, I did some field tests earlier, and I found out that 1/2 a turn controls the resonant point of this 30 kilohertz. It moves at exactly 30 kilohertz on the 80 meter band. So one little bump is about a 1/4 turn, and so 2 bumps would give it a 1/2 a turn. So that would be 1, 2, there, that would be 30 kilohertz. So I could, and when I bring a switch in and I extend this in the ham shack, that's probably what I'll do, is just have a little bump button or something like that. But I'm pretty happy with this, how it turned out. I don't know how long these batteries are going to last. They draw quite a bit of current. This motor draws quite a bit of current, 2 amps, 2.5 amps, but it seems like these batteries are good for it. I might be able to use another wire off of the Cat 5, which I'm going to run up into the shack and maybe fashion up a trickle charger and charge it from inside the shack. 9-volt battery will probably last forever. So yeah, I'm excited. This is working really well. So we're going to go out and hook this baby up. Doesn't get any cooler than that, huh? So I like it. It's going to work good. I probably will have to get a new enclosure. Earlier today or last night I had this Tupperware go right over top, but that was before the new mechanism here. So this is what I have. I'll run some Cat 5 cable through the conduit over here. Maybe I'll do that tonight. Let's see here. Okay, and I think this was just ground, and this was positive center here. So I had this marked right there as my SWR 1.0 or 1.1 at 3900. So that'll be my baseline. I'll just kind of eyeball the center of that pulley or roller, in whatever you call that thing, wiper, right there. That should be 3900, 3.9 megahertz. So there you got it. Poor man's automatic tuner. Now if I could just figure out a way to switch the tuner in and out so I can run this for 160 and do that remotely, I'll be in hose. So there you go. We'll see you later.